Well, hello there, YouTube. Hopefully everybody out there is having a decent day or night, whatever it is when you're watching this. You know, part of me still remembers how it was to be what's considered normal and care about all this crap that doesn't matter, quite honestly. And once you move past that, you enter into this whole new existence and state of being that, unless you are in that state of being, it's kind of hard to describe, because the things that used to bother you, things you used to concern yourself with, don't feel that important to you anymore. Like, downright to the point that you just don't even care about it anymore. It just doesn't matter. You know it doesn't matter. And it's one of those things, you know, once you learn something, some things can't be unlearned. Some things can't be untaught once you have taught them to yourself. Because the road that I'm speaking of isn't a road that other people can teach you and put you on. They can tell you things, but that doesn't matter. Because unless you're willing to receive it and hear it and take time to sit and contemplate it, then it's just words. It's just words being spoke to you that at that point in time you weren't ready to hear, so you didn't really hear them. And that's how much of life kind of goes, if you think about it. You can try to teach a child to write its name, but until it gets to a point that it wants to know to write its name, it's going to be more of a struggle for you. It's going to be a heartache for you. It's going to, you know, you're going to get aggravated and you get frustrated because you're trying to teach your child something that you know it's going to need, but yet it doesn't want to hear it. It doesn't want to learn it. It's not concerned about it because at that point in its life, it has no need to learn to write its name. But once you push yourself far enough, you can't come back. It's that simple. You cannot come back once you push yourself far enough. You can choose to stay in your box and not push yourself, which, if that's where you want to be, in a box, then I suggest you don't ever look what's outside of the four walls and the top and bottom that you're in. Because you start poking holes in that thing and it's going to yank you out of it. That's for sure. People seem to be stuck in this loop of good and evil, right and wrong. Being righteous, being unholy, however you want to look at it. But the bottom line of it all, what's the difference? One way you will burden yourself to help others because you believe you should, because you believe you must, because that's what your God wants for you. And the other way, you will burden others. because you don't care. Don't care about anyone else. Doesn't matter what they think. Doesn't matter. I'm not saying you should choose whether to be a good person or be a bad person. Because who's to say that anyone ever knows who's the good side and who's the bad side? I mean, honestly, and I know I've said this before, but when you're at war, there are normally two sides. Both sides believe they're correct. Both sides believe they're right. Both sides believe that they're got their God on their side, and that the other one is wrong and has no love from the gods, or at least not your gods. But one way or other, it all takes a toll. And once you start looking outside of the small little game of marbles that's being played, and start looking at the court that you're playing the marbles on, you start realizing that the marbles in the court and yourself and the person you're playing are all the same. So to take one hole and divide it into half and say one half of it is good and the other half is bad, but you're only taking a hole and dividing it. You see what I'm getting at here? You're taking what is whole and dividing it to try to make sense of yourself and others without trying to understand the whole to begin with. Because it's easier to just chalk the whole up to little pieces. Say, oh, that part of it's bad. You shouldn't be doing that. But yet it's still the whole. I'm not telling you to go out and start harming people or doing things. I have no control over anyone, nor would I want to. Somebody's got their Great Dane out here walking around. No leash. But anyway. What are we supposed to preach about? Right? Preachers preach. I'm not a preacher. So what would I have to preach about? Why would I want to preach to begin with? Life for me isn't about preaching anymore. It's not about pulling people out of their boxes. It's not about changing people's view upon their reality any longer. Because that's their view to be had. Whether it be right or wrong, it's still their view to be had. And if they have no need to see a different way, then they'll never see a different way, regardless of what's put in front of them. You have to feel the want. You have to feel that need for, there's got to be something more than this two-sided coin we're flipping all day. Because you pretty much waste all of your time trying to figure out which side that coin's landing on. Whether it be heads or tails, still a coin that you're flicking, right? Regardless of what it lands on, it's still a coin. Still has two sides. So as one whole, as a thing, as an object. And most of the time, a coin's use is only for currency. So what's your currency? Do you understand frequencies? Do you understand waves? Can you see the world as energy? Or do you believe that everybody's an NPC and you're the main role character of this story? Because you start thinking that way, that's fine to think that way, because you are. You are the main role. You are the main character in your story. And all other players are non-playable characters in your life, but yet you are a non-playable character in their life. So while you are the main character in your story, you are nothing but an NPC in their story. And that's just how life is. We can't all be main role characters in everyone's lives. Like, we're all simultaneously NPCs and main role characters all at the same time, constantly playing a game. Anyway, that's a little tidbit for now. Y'all have a good day. Much love all.